Thanks a lot for that presentation was something that we can't match, obviously. But here we are here to talk about customer value management and customer value delivery across the moments of truth. Obviously, we are selling insurance from a perspective. We are all in the business of selling fear, right? That's what insurance is all about. So in that element of fear, can we build something which is of empathy, which is of being there kinds when you need things the most? So insurance is not about just financial cover. It's more about caring. It's more about empathy. It's more about being there for you when you need it the most. At least that's what they say on paper. And personalization, we were just talking about the example of the gentleman whose mother is not covered because of things. So if you look at it, it's more about personalization, coming out with things which are specific for people as we move forward. It's all about moving from indemnity to well-being, making it more comprehensive to the person who's kind of wanting to get it. The vision for insurance, as we look at it from the new perspective, is all about innovation, or at least what we drive within Newgen for insurance is all about innovate with personalized coverage, using data-driven insights to safeguard futures and enhance financial well-being, deriving lasting value for policyholders. Now that's quite a mouthful, but that's the basic that I suppose most of the insurance companies today are working with and want to deliver at the end of the day. Now this comes with two sides of things. One is looking at customer value marketing or management at the end of the day, which is selling with personalized offers, hyper-personalized campaigns. The campaigns that run at the moment are mostly around happy birthday, or we know that your anniversary is coming. So it's all about some basic trivial things, which I think the customers don't even care about. So it's more about hyper-personalized, getting more insights into it, maybe understanding the color of choice for them, maybe understanding the channel of choice for them, and then delivering through it. Empathy, we talked about in the last presentation as well, is the name of the game, to nudge responses, to make them think. That'll make all the difference. And insight-powered outreach for deeper understanding. So from the communications, how do you kind of move forward with it? The second part is the responsible or responsive customer servicing. Most of the times, the customer servicing that we notice today is about taking inputs. It's not responding to it or solving a problem. In fact, at one of the conferences like this, we came to notice that there are specialized divisions for digital customer service. Now, most of the times, the digital customer service fails. If it fails, then there has to be a fallback. In fact, it has to be so strong like repairing a computer. So the guy sitting at the other end has to be so proficient in his work that he's able to provide a solution and not just taking notes. Then I'll get back to you kind of an answer. So it's all about contextual, empathetic response using natural language processing and insights to drive learned response as to solving a problem rather than just taking notes. So if you combine 1 and 2 that we talked about together, the customer gets in the center. At one end, we have proactive approach. That was the customer value or the initial bit of it. And the second is the reactive. So if you look at the proactive thing, how can you, there's loads and loads of data available with you at the moment itself. You have the CRM, you have the CIBIL score, you have the IAB data that's coming in, you've got PAS, you've got third-party applications. Now, at any point of time, you're getting signals from those. How do you utilize those signals to derive intent, have a campaign planned, have communication of that campaign, and approach the customer? So that's one side of the story, the proactive side of the story. The other is the reactive, where a customer reaches out to you. So he can reach out to you using a host of channels, emails, portals, maybe approaching an agent, maybe approaching a broker, call center, social, telematics. So you've loads and loads of points of communicating inwards as well. Use NLP, do the processing, categorization, blah, 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 and ultimately go back to the customer. Now it doesn't end over here. Both proactive and reactive both work together in order to seamlessly keep on continuing the loop that we've shown over here. It's all about resolution. It's all about providing a solution which is empathetic, which is to the point and solves a problem for the customer at the end of the day. These are some of the things that actually happen. In reactive, we have omni-channel support, sentiment analysis, real-time claim tracking, AI-powered chatbots, post-interaction surveys that actually complete the loop from a reactive perspective. On proactive, you have hyper-personalization that's actually working in order to give you what you need at that point of time for yourself. Now, it's all about seeing that while a customer is a customer, but every customer is unique. And every customer has its own journey. And every customer's journey has its own moments of truth. So while onboarding, a lot of emphasis is put on onboarding at the moment. You've made it digital, you've enabled it through a lot of channels, but if you look at it, keeping him satisfied, or keeping her satisfied, or keeping the customer satisfied would make things much, much more beneficial for you at a later point of time. So the moments of truth can be switching off things. So family add-on, rejected claims, and the switch. So from onboarding, which you've spent so much on getting the customer in, to kind of easily making him switch is a rare possibility. Now, if you look at it, for insurance, unfortunately, the interactions that you have with customer are very rare and few. So it will either happen when there is a claim or when there is a problem. So at the end of the day, the touch points or moment of truth for an insurance industry is ideally when there is a mishap. And it's all about addressing that mishap at the end point of time. And personalization during these moments of truth would make all the difference for you. So there can be different profiles that we talked about for the lady, for the man in the middle, and an aged gentleman. So all of those would have different profiles. In fact, let's consider 3 individuals over here. One is a young professional, early saver, career-focused, predictive, moderate, high-value individual, high lifetime value, and relative healthy lifestyle. So he'd have a host of things which he has invested in at various points of time. The second is a lady, family-oriented, middle-aged, protection seeker. So you'd notice the products that she is kind of subscribed to is at a different level altogether. And finally, there's an elderly gentleman. Financial stability is what he's looking at. Probably his legacy planning is what he's kind of doing. So the kind of products that he would have invested into would vary. It's all about personalization and derived values from moments of truth. So this is what I was talking about, that you have host of data related to your existing customer and any new customer that you get at any point of time. From the data, you have behavioral signals, how he is kind of interacting with you on a social network, how he is interacting with you during a call or a service, or probably deriving things through a claim. So you have behavioral insights, derive intents out of it, take actions, feedback and learning, and then move back the loop. So it's all about utilizing those data elements and points of truth to make a difference for him. There are 3 stages in which you actually can apply all these things that we talked about. the acquisition, the retention, and the engagement, which can derive data from a host of things like risk behavior analysis. We talked about that. Recommended rider. So the gentleman who talked about the risk management professional. So that's what's happening at all stages, the acquisition, retention. So what point of time do you need to switch? Where is it that in the family cycle or the overall life cycle do you need to kind of make a difference? Gets onto the retention, the persistency score and probability of lapse. And then finally the engagement. Depending on his lifetime engagement potential, engage accordingly. Next best product that can be offered to him. And probably the incremental income trends that come and go. So there is a host of things that actually help you work with this, including multi-channel initiation, natural language processing, classification of those, routing through workflows, intelligence assistance, response survey. So all those things come in handy at various points of time in order to make the journey complete. Further, all of it ultimately kind of goes through the loop in order to make a difference. What does it require? So at the end of the day, from a journey perspective, you need both the brain and the brawn to work together. The brain gets you the sensing elements. So there is the sensing element which the brain kind of works on using technology parameters as context setting, personalization, rule engine, AI, ML, Gen AI. And the brawn is where whatever you derive out of this brain, put it into action. It's just like the human body working in tandem. So brawn is putting it all together and then delivering it through the channel of choice at the end of the day. That's what I talked about. The brain takes the value or derives the value and the brawn delivers it. We talked about reactive and proactive, or proactive and reactive at the end of the day. So for anything, you have both moments of truth. So consider Sheila's health insurance claim. Now there can be two ways in this which this happens. One is using the wearables, you detect a fall, you detect the kind of nature of the fall, probably move it forward from there, automatically register, get a hospital notified, move forward. Or there can be a reactive way where Sheila herself calls that, look, something has happened, I want an ambulance, blah, blah, blah. And how do you handle it comprehensively can make all the difference. Similarly, Joe can have an auto insurance claim. Now here, traditionally in India, you can you bang a car, maybe if it's workable, take it away. But at other places, you have to stop till the police arrives. So at both the places, both can happen. Using the telematics today, you can detect the nature of the damage that is there. If airbag is deployed, probably he'll need a tow truck, he'll need the nearest garage to come in. There may be an alternate thing that has to be a vehicle that needs to be provided. If it's an odd time of the night, the nearest hotel has to be intimated. So look at it holistically. It's not just about claim registration. It's the entire ecosystem that needs to work in order to make it happen. And these are moments where the person is grieving. So how you settle those things would make all the difference. Similarly, for the elderly gentleman, the David that we were talking about, he may simply pass or probably move to the next world, as they say. So in such case, how do you handle the situation with the family is something that will come in handy and make all the difference. So it's all about the moments of truth, and it's those moments of truth that will imbibe loyalty and kind of working together at the end of the day. And personalization is the key. We talked about this, that Newgen, I was told by my marketing to take up these slides, so here I am. Newgen delivers value across the brain and brawn that we talked about in order to personalize those moments of truth for you. And ultimately, it all delivers the personalization that we were talking about at the end of the day. So thank you very much. Any questions? More than welcome to take it forward.